have you guys? I mean, you guys have never fought each other professionally. Have you guys ever had like serious sparring sessions with each other?
No.
No.
He just beat on me for 6
No.
weeks, I mean, getting ready for Ultimate One, he used me as a human basketball,
I mean, at the height. Well, I mean, Dan, you entered a lit's bit later. Don's a little bit younger.
Okay, I always tell people that I was a one-trick pony, but I knew how to use my skill set. I did not expect my career to go as long as it did. I simply knew that I would be able to get in here, and in order to punch me, because the reality is I'm not a stand-up striker. I'm a wrestler. So even when I went to the first UFC number 4, when you are there and they're filling in the information that they want some of your background. They want to know how tall you are, what do you weigh, where do you hail from, all this kind of stuff, so that they have it for the announcer. And so as they're going through all this different type of information, they asked me, get to the question, so what is your martial art? I'd never been asked a question like that. What's your martial art? And I just said, well, I'm an American wrestler. Well, the individual never had heard that answer before, so they kind of looked both ways. They kind of leaned forward and they said, what exactly does that do? And so I just kind of mimicked them. I kind of looked both ways. And I leaned forward. I go, you might want to watch. I'm kind of making this up as I go. And then literally, she started laughing. But like I said earlier, I only trained for 5 days, an hour and a half a day. Was I making up? Sure, I was making it up on the fly. But, most wrestlers are pretty good. Are good scramblers. I mean, that's some of the best wrestlers are. They know how to scramble in situations. So
it's like being in a street fight 2.5 hours every day, in practice. And, at the college level, a lot of your guys are all Americans. So you got the top athletes of the country, who you're scrapping with for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, wrestling is very unique to where you just go out there when you're doing live takedowns, you just slap hands and then you go for it. Like what Don said, you're going balls to the wall. At that point in time, you're not trying to. You're looking for takedowns. You're looking for back points, things of that nature. And the hardest thing for me when it came to doing this mixed martial arts is knowing that you actually can lay on your back. I mean that was like even I have certain thoughts back. Even my high school wrestling coach, he goes, "You're never on your back. You don't even sleep on your back." Is what he would tell you. So because you didn't want to give up back points, so it was a little bit difficult for me at the beginning to start to realize, okay, there is this thing called the guard, and you can actually lay on your back and use it in a position. As I got older, it did not bother me laying on my back.
Yeah, because it's strange. That's where they had the advantage, is being able to fight off your back. Because in America, you're not trained to fight off your back. You kind of like a dog. Once you're in your back, the other person won. And in wrestling, it's over. They whooped your ass. So when the Gracies brought it into America, it completely changed martial arts forever in the United States, and then on the world stage. But being Americans, we caught up. I mean, Dan came in at number 4 and, and threw Hoist around for 15 minutes, and then Hoist said, well, shit, I'm out of here. He didn't show up after that, except for doing a super fight against Shamrock, who he had beat before in like 15 seconds. So on paper, it wasn't a big threat to him, and so we had adapted it and changed it like the United States does for everything.
Okay, so you said that a lot of people don't realize that professional wrestling actually has the highest death rate of all professions.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at just
how due to chemical cocktails, the painkillers, the muscle relaxers, the steroids, the human growth hormones. It's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's still that quote that I said, still holds to this day. When you look at how many wrestlers perish on an annual basis, I mean, it just came out just this past week. All the different professional wrestlers that passed away in the course of 2020.
But that was the COVID.
Yeah, well, yeah.
First time there's nothing else, and it was all COVID.
Yeah, but you guys, some people like a Chris Candido. In my career, I think I've outlived, I think 4 or 5 of my cage fighting opponents and over 30 of my professional wrestling partners. And they're not as old as me. So, the reality is a lot of it is again, professional wrestling.
Our friendship's over, buddy.
No. I'm talking again, a lot of that is that professional wrestling aspect. You only get one life in this one life, one body, and I'm trying to milk it out for all it's worth.
Well, when I interviewed New Jack, he said Vince McMahon's a piece of shit. Every time a wrestler dies, he gets away with it.
How in the f is this guy, every time somebody dies, he gets away with it? And that's why I said he had blood on his hands. Because so many people kept dying in that company, and they just had a guy die like 2 weeks ago.
Whew, that's well, I'll just say that he contradicts his own word, because they do have when I say they, the WWE does have a wellness policy, and part of that wellness policy is they talk about the use of steroids and other controlled substances. But the reality is, as long as you're making money for Vince, I think he's going to turn a blind eye. But if you become a problem child for him, he can still use that blind eye, and he can have you removed for that. So he himself, he was put on a cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine. He was put on the front cover, I think, when he was 69 years of age or something like that. And let's face it, he was using all kinds of stuff at that point in time. So again, I guess the word is called being a hypocrite about it.